Hi YouTube, Watchify here with another video. And this one I wanted to go over some previous generation Seiko 5 sports watches that I think were three of the more popular models that came out and are harder to find today at a reasonable price. Those would be the Urchin SNZF13, the SNZH57, and the SNZG13. They are all now discontinued and came with a Seiko 7S36 automatic movement, and all three have 100 meters of water resistance. Some other hallmarks of the Seiko 5 line were exhibition case backs, a day and date complication, and lume on the dial and hands. These three watches also have similar 42mm case sizes, 22mm lug widths, and cases that do not have drilled lug holes. The SNZ F17 and the SNZH 57 are both dive style watches with a unidirectional rotating bezel, but with only 100 meters of water resistance and a non-screw down crown, they can't be considered true ISO rated dive watches. I picked up this Urchin pre-owned, and as you can see, I've done some modifications to it by adding a sapphire crystal, a ceramic bezel insert, and an aftermarket bracelet, but it still has the 7S36 automatic movement it came with. That movement doesn't hack or hand wind, but otherwise it's a reliable 40-hour power reserve movement. I can't find this model for sale anymore on Amazon, but they can still be found new from eBay sellers for around $300. But that's for the one that comes with a resin strap rather than a stainless steel bracelet. On bracelet, I'm seeing them selling for closer to $400. It's a watch that's been called Seiko's homage to the Rolex Submariner, as it has a similar case shape and indice design. It's really become one of my favorite watches in my collection, as it does look more expensive than what it originally cost. The next watch is also considered an homage watch and has earned the nickname of the Seiko 55 Fathoms, since it looks similar to the famous Blancpain 50 Fathoms diver. I also got this SNZH57 pre-owned and did an unboxing video when it arrived. I've since swapped out the original 7S36 movement to a newer NH36 and have paired it with this rubber Tropics strap. This watch is interesting because it has a Harlex bezel insert and domed Harlex crystal, along with the gold-colored accents on the dial, hands, and bezel insert. Another thing I like is the bezel design of having that polished inner ring, which is something I don't see very often. Similar to the Urchin, I can't find it for sale anymore on Amazon, but they can be found on eBay with new models selling for around $300. Rounding out the trio is the field watch style SNZG13. This one's been modded as well with cathedral style hands, a movement swap, and a sapphire crystal, but the most distinctive feature of this watch is the dial, with its raised outer ring that has prominent hash marks, and the inner dial with both 12 and 24-hour Arabic numerals. The combination adds some depth to the dial, which I think would have even been done better had Seiko put lume on the numerals as well. This is probably the one watch in my collection that I've most often changed out strap types. From NATO's to leather to canvas, and different metal bracelet styles, this watch goes well with them in my opinion. This model is actually still available on Amazon where it sells for $189. And over on eBay I found some new ones selling for $143. Of these three watches, it could be said that the SNZG13 is the only one that Seiko's updated with a new version, which I think would be the Seiko 5 SRPG27, which I also have in my collection. The Watch Sleuth website has an extensive database of these discontinued Seiko 5's, and according to their site, this SNZG13 ranks as the 5th most popular, while the Urchin is number 18, and the SNZH57 ranks 107th out of 2,613 Seiko 5 watches. As time goes on, these discontinued Seiko 5 sports models may get forgotten about. As they get harder to find, their price goes up to levels where it doesn't make a lot of sense to pay $300 or more for a watch with an older movement when there are newer Seiko 5's and automatic watches from other brands with better specs that would cost the same or even less. However, for collectors like me, it's nice to have these three in the collection and to be able to experiment with them when it comes to modding. That's going to be it for this video. I hope you found it interesting, and if you did, feel free to leave a like, comment, or even consider subscribing. As always, I wanted to thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in another video.